At primary school, we played marbles on the playground, and from the get-go I was like, these are the most beautiful things I've ever seen. In about grade 4, I said I'm going to study glass. And then every open day I'd go to art school and I'd go to the glass workshop and I'd pester them. And then sure enough, when I graduated college, I was like, right, that's it, it's the glass workshop. My name's Tae Schmeisser and I'm the designer and maker behind Tae Schmeisser Fine Jewellery and Beuy Seasonal Collections. My father was a master printmaker and my mum's a textile designer. So I'm very lucky in that my dad had me playing with the drills and saws and everything like that, which was the best thing he could have ever done because it meant that I have always felt quite confident using my hands, which really has become my livelihood, which is quite lucky. I'm born and bred in Canberra and I actually studied glass at ANU in Canberra. So glass, it's beautiful, but it can be fragile. On the opposite of that, metal is so strong, and if you use a fine amount, it can be light. So being able to use those two together is something very special. And so I'd go to the gold and silver workshop and ask people if they could help me. That was one of the first times that I was like, I need to get into metal, I need to understand this. So then I came to Melbourne and I studied gold and silver, and I haven't looked back. After graduating, I obviously had other jobs and was making my jewellery, and it wasn't until about 3 years ago I was stressed out in the bathroom of my previous job, furiously checking my jewellery emails, and it was at that point I was like, you know what, I gotta back myself. And I quit that job and I focused solely on my jewellery work. And so I've got 2 brands. So the Tae Schmeisser Fine Jewellery is gold, silver, diamonds, gallery work. And Beuy is seasonal collections that go wholesale, retail markets, that kind of thing. Every piece is different. So once it gets to the sterling silver or gold phase, there's a lot of soldering that goes on, which is you're kind of fusing 2 metals together. From there it goes into an acid, which is called pickle, and that takes away the flux and basically cleans off any of the gunk that you've just put on while soldering. Once that's happened, then it goes to the bench and then the filing and finishing happens. Now, depending on the day, you might accidentally slip and then do a huge divot in something, and then you have to start from scratch all over again. So once it's cast, I then like to add a bit of bling. So that's when I get my beautiful gemstones out and then encrust them and make them look a little outrageous and maybe a little kitsch. So the airbrushing, it took a lot of trial and error. It was not something that I'd seen anywhere else or read about. So I had a bit of a play, and then I thought, oh, I wonder what else you can airbrush. So to suddenly have this door open of all these amazing colours I could use with this technique that I hadn't seen anyone play with glass before was super exciting, because it meant I wasn't constrained into something of don't look like that person or don't look like that work. I have complete freedom to play around with it. So I guess the aspirations for me in the future really are to keep evolving, but first and foremost to create beautiful work that means something to me. Last year, I was lucky enough to have a Tae Schmeisser piece and a Beuy piece be finalists in the Victorian Craft Awards, which was so wonderful. The main thing is that you're proud of it. So all that stuff, that's awesome and that's wonderful. You just have to make sure that it is work that you really love to put out there.